How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 100% Austin, episode 3, I believe. Episode 3, is that correct?
Yes, we're on episode 3.
This is my intro. It's probably not as good as Jordan's was last week, but Jordan's not here to criticize it because he had to go to bed. So
Criticize.
Anyways, so obviously we
Already
still have
off to a terrible start.
Off to a terrible start. Yeah, we added a few new options to the soundboard that you'll probably hear. But we're going to try and mitigate that as much as possible. It's going to be tough. I'll tell you that right now because this thing is still very addicting.
Yeah. So, we tried to get it all out of the way before the podcast, so I tried my best. I'm sorry, guys, if it doesn't work out.
Oh, you're gonna blame me? That's what that sounded like, a blame Daniel.
Jordan's not here today, so somebody's got to step in and blame you.
Okay, well, I mean, we couldn't get Jordan's comments on the soundboard, but anyways, so yeah, we'll go from there. Jordan's not here; it's just me and Dennis for this week's episode.
How was your week this week, Hugget?
Oh, it was great. I worked overnights all week. So went in at 10 p.m., got off at 6 a.m., went to bed at like 8 a.m. So my clock is just totally messed up. And I moved yesterday.
Yeah, you moved. So how'd that go?
Oh, it was terrible. I realized that I have way too much stuff and I need to get rid of some of it. And that's what happens every time I move. I always realize that.
Are you a hoarder?
I am definitely a hoarder.
I remember I used to go to your house, and it always seemed like it was pretty cluttered. But
oh yeah, no, it's a genetic thing too. I'm a hoarder. My mom's a hoarder. My uncle's a hoarder. My other uncle is a hoarder, and one of my cousins is a hoarder. We have the hoarder gene. It's a genetic thing. My grandpa was a hoarder too. So
I've heard that it literally is something that runs in the family.
Yeah, no, it's horrible because it's like. I did some research on it, and it's like we ascribe an emotional value or attachment to inanimate objects. So you can't you can someone person can say oh okay this, for example, this pen that we have on the table, you can just get you can just get rid of that or whatever, but we'd be no, this pen's got feelings, it's got emotions, it's got if I throw it away, its feelings are gonna be hurt. I gotta keep it.
Is that really how it is?
I mean, it's part of it. That's not a me thing. That's studies, stuff like that. People who talk to hoarders and who analyze what they do and all that stuff. That's part of how it affects the psyche. So I don't think you should be super minimalist. Don't keep anything. There's some people on the internet who I have 5 items and that's it. But you definitely can't let stuff consume your life because if you do, it's just I don't know. It's ridiculous.
I feel like every mom is somewhat of a hoarder with their kids' stuff.
Oh, for sure.
No matter what, your mom is gonna hold tight to a lot of the things that you have. I'm saying this from a son's perspective.
No, I'm saying that I can agree with that from a son's perspective as well. You keep the photos, you keep the little memorabilia. I mean, my thing is what I've realized is if it's not a shoe, I'm into shoes. If it's not a video game, because I'm into video games, or maybe sometimes a Lego, but even then Legos are kind of the distant third. I don't buy a lot of Legos. And if it's not one of those things and it can't fit into a little box, a little piece of paper, a pamphlet for something, then it's it's just clutter or it's just useless knickknacks.
I don't think I'm necessarily a hoarder. There's certain things that I'll hoard, sort of like you said, I think shoes and clothing I'll hoard because there's part of me that's always well, I'll wear that sometime. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be something that comes up where I'll have to wear it. That's a very small dose of hoarding, but for me, it's more just messy. I'll leave things random places, but in my mind, I'm thinking I know exactly where it is. I'll find it next time perfectly because of that. And to me, I'm the kind of person that doesn't make their bed because in my mind, I'm gonna just lay in it that night and it's gonna be messed up again. And who cares? It's my bedroom. No one really is gonna be in there all the time. That's kind of the way I am. I'm not really a hoarder. I'm more of
Yeah, it sounds like you're messy. You're not a hoarder. You just don't clean up.
But I do like things clean. That's the weird thing. If somebody cleans up my stuff, The only thing I don't like is when they clean it and I'm not there, because then I don't know where I left things. But I do like it being clean after I've cleaned something. But then it just never lasts. Like, that's my problem.
My thing is, my rule has always been, like, I'm really messy, like, but I always, like, my one pet peeve is, like, food. Like, don't ever leave food out. Don't leave it open. Either throw it away, put it in the refrigerator, put it in the pantry. Just don't leave it, like, where it can attract, like, animals or pests. Because, like, I hate insects. Like, I don't want to deal with them if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's different from hoarding. I think hoarding is just, like, you got to keep some stuff, but you can't keep everything, and that's where you kind of have to find, okay, what goes, what doesn't, because it weigh, and then people are like, oh, like, things weigh you down, and it's like, well, they do, but I think you have to have some things. You got to find, like, what the really important things are.
It is a weird thing that people, like, feel like that their inanimate objects that they own actually would, like, feel something.
Oh yeah,
because, like, they're like today I just traded in my vehicle to get a new vehicle, and like, part of me is, like, sad because I'm giving up my 2006 Ford Explorer. Like, I'm like, all the memories that I shared, all the times that Dora took care of me. I named my Explorer Dora. I
thought it was the Exploder.
Well, that's what other people call Explorers. I called it I called it Dora. Because Dora the Explorer.
I guarantee there's, like, out of all the... I mean, if you surveyed, like, a percentage of Explorer owners, I feel like Dora would probably hands down be the most... They either named
their Explorer Dora, or they exploded because their Explorer exploded.
Yeah, I think that's probably, like... I think you get at least, like, 10% of people. Like, it would be, like, at least among, like, this generation of people who, like, know what Dora the Explorer is and, like, grew up... I mean, I grew up... But, it was... seen, I guess.
Well, I've literally had to convince myself that Dora was ready to go. Like, Dora was ready to die, and, like, that's what I'm conceding. Like my car is literally, like, going till the wheels fall off. Like, it's not lasting much longer, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put Dora out peacefully. I'm gonna give it to this dealership. Yeah. Whatever they do with it, you don't know. I don't know. They may sell it for parts. They may, like, sell it for nothing, but that's Dora's life now. It's like when your mom tells you, like, oh, your dog didn't die, he just ran away, or your goldfish or whatever. It's like, no one ever told me that. I didn't have the privilege of being told that my animals ran away, or, like, I didn't either. My dog, I knew when they died. I flushed my own fish down the toilet. I don't think I ever had a fish. My brother had fish, and they didn't do anything. They just sat there in the bowl looking, and there was, like, two of them. They were beta fish, and they just sat there looking at each other, and one time the little divider that was between them was taken out, and they started fighting. That's the funny thing, too, is because, like, I always felt bad for my beta fish because I was like, it's so lonely. It just swims around this tiny little bowl all day, and it doesn't do anything. And then when I got older, I found out that, like, they found beta fish, like, I don't know where. It's, like, somewhere in East Asia or something, probably, where, I'm not saying probably because I'm assuming, I'm saying, like, I know it's somewhere over there, and they found them in puddles, like, in just, like, random places. So they like to be in, like, small amounts of confined amounts of water, and they also are very territorial, so they like to be alone. So, that's a random fish that, like, is a huge loner, and it's, like, just in its DNA to be that way. Yeah. It doesn't care. It could be evolutionary too. Like, they might have just, like, been in an area where, like, all of a sudden they were restricted to puddles, and they were like, well, that's the way I like it now. So you never know. Yeah, but with the car thing, I took the same thing. I got a new car. I guess it was almost 2 months ago now, and, like, I was so. I mean, like, that my current car, like, I'd had it. It was the first car I had. I had it forever. Like, I mean, it worked. It only left me stranded once, and that was because the battery died, which, I mean, you can't really do anything about that. You can replace the battery. Yeah, but I mean, like, at the time, like, if the battery dies, like, it's tough to... Right. You have to get it charged, pretty much. Right. Like, in the moment, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, there's nothing you, like, well, I just have to call an Uber or, call, whatever. But, it was still, like, it was really emotional. The AC didn't work, so, like, it was hot as hell. Like, I was cooking the whole, like, a year and a half, like, through summer. But even, like, when it was time to get rid of it, I mean, we didn't even get rid of it. Like, we still have it because we're hoarders and we keep everything. Actually, it's not even my car. It's technically it's still under my grandma's name.
who passed away in 2006. So that, I mean, it's...
They never transitioned the name to you?
Nope. So...
How does that work? Like, so if, like, you sold it, and they're like, who is this person that it's under? Like, they
wouldn't
didn't
be able
care?
to sell it. So basically, I mean, it was originally bought for my grandma. It was under her name. Then it was I'll tell you what kind of car it was. It was a tan 2000 Chevy Malibu 2000 LE.
Classic.
It was a little fin on the back.
Oh man!
Did
you take it to the racetrack? Ever?
I took every now and then. You know, I drove.
What'd you hit?
out
Like
there.
160?
Like 110.
Just like 10,000 miles an hour.
I think one time I went 100 in that thing.
You just like Back to the Futured it and like.
No, I didn't. Where are you going down this rabbit hole?
Like in Back to the Future, he like drives.
I've never seen Back to the Future. I'll be honest with you.
All right. Today's homework for Daniel Huggett is to watch Back to the Future.
All right. Well, I probably won't do that because
there's like 4 of them. So
no, I know there's.
You
4
got a lot of work to do.
But it's like $3, and there's so many other movies I could watch for $3 that I'm probably a little more interested in.
But it's a classic.
Yeah, but
it's like one of the ones you just have to see.
There's like 1,000 classics now. Everything's a classic.
But like people make Back to the Future references just like right now, and you don't even know what I'm talking about.
People make Star Wars references too, but I know what that's about.
Yeah, because you've seen Star Wars. That's the point. You need to see Back to the Future.
We could talk about. We could talk about Star Wars. I heard this rumor that Episode 9 is supposedly going to be a 2-parter. Like. That is, to me, the dumbest thing.
No, it makes perfect sense. I know why they're doing it, because they want to make money.
Yeah, but but Solo flopped. Like, the whole Star Wars fan base is, like, in an outrage over
but
Episode 8.
Their new trilogy is staying afloat. Like, that's the
Barely.
only part that has been doing okay. Rogue One did good.
Rogue One did good. That's because it was basically, like, an original trilogy prequel. Like, it was the prequel to A New Hope.
I really liked that movie.
I did too. I liked that one way more.
I didn't see Solo.
I didn't see it either. I didn't care.
But all I heard, it wasn't that good. And I think the point...
I heard it was okay.
I heard... Okay, but the point that we didn't see it, I think, makes something... Like we love Star Wars, and we didn't even care to go see it in theaters. Like, that's...
Yeah, Star Wars is like the only movie I'll go out of my way to see, but even that one, I was like, I don't care. Like... Han Solo is Harrison Ford. Like you put some little punk kid in there. It's like I don't care about this guy. Like
no, because I liked the idea of the movie. The idea of the movie sounded cool to me, but I just feel like execution wise, it probably wasn't good because there's a lot of things that after watching the original trilogy that you are like, so like it'd be cool to know about how like Han Solo met Lando and Chewbacca. Like those are all things that like you don't know because the new trilogy, the episode 1, 2, and 3 had Chewbacca in it. It makes you curious as to like where Chewbacca and Han Solo meet up. That's just kind of something that I was curious about. So I feel like that could have been an easily executed movie, but I feel like they didn't. I don't know.
Maybe for me, I just wasn't really that interested in Han Solo. Like he's a cool character, but I don't think I've ever once said like, man, I really wonder what Han Solo's backstory was. Like, why does he have? I mean, like,
if there was another prequel based on a different character from the original trilogy, or a new trilogy, which one would you want to see a backstory on?
Could I do the prequel trilogy too?
That's what I'm saying. The prequel trilogy.
So prequel, original, and new trilogy. I mean,
no. Okay, so let's get it right. So new trilogy, we're saying is the other ones. Or the one.
So prequel, episode 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so we're saying prequel 1, 2, 3.
Original 4, 5, 6. New. We'll say Disney.
7, 8, 9, part 1 and part 2.
We don't need part 1 and part 2.
So that's new. Okay, so I said prequel and original trilogy. Between those two, would you like to see a prequel on those? Like, what character would you like to see a prequel on?
I mean, for me, the one they've talked about doing and the easiest one to do would be Obi-Wan. Which I think would be great.
Doesn't interest me.
That interests
Han Solo
me.
sounded more interesting than Obi-Wan.
Oh, I mean, I think just more of Obi-Wan.
There's no questions like that I have about Obi-Wan. Like when I look at characters, the ones I want to see prequels are the ones that I have questions about. And Obi-Wan seems like he's just a basic guy that came up in the system of like the Jedi.
I think Obi-Wan. I mean, not just maybe like a prequel, but like what Obi-Wan was doing between episode 3 and 4. I mean, yeah, he's hanging out on what's it called on. Tatooine, but I mean, he was just, I don't know. I feel like he's the most interesting character. And I think
so are you saying like between after the Clone Wars and like when he shows up again in
like while he's watching over Luke,
like when he becomes
maybe
that sounds like a really boring story.
That actually does sound pretty boring.
He just becomes a hermit and just watches Luke. That's not much of a movie.
I think a Yoda prequel would be good. I think Yoda's probably one that like you don't really. I mean, Yoda always has this kind of like mystique about him that he's like, you don't know what
Yeah.
he is. Like, you know what he is,
Yoda,
but like,
Yoda has questions that I want to know about.
There's questions. I think Yoda would be a good one.
Like, why is he the Master Jedi? Like, the best Jedi.
How has he lived for 900 years? Like, is it his race?
It's probably because of the alien species.
Because there's another like member of his species in episode 1, like Yaddle or something like that. So
he's
I mean,
he's at Tatooine, right?
No, he's like a Jedi.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
See, so much of like that middle part of episode 1 is so forgettable. I don't blame you for not remembering that. Like, pretty much goes episode 1 on whatever the heck that first planet is, Naboo. Then it's episode, then it's they're on Tatooine. Then they're on Coruscant. That whole Coruscant part, just like as a kid, it went over my head. I haven't watched episode 1 in a long time, so I don't even remember anything about that part of the movie. Like, it's just like politicking around. It's like, oh,
who's interesting? And I want to know how he rose to the top. Is
Grand Moff Tarkin?
No, I can't think of his name. I really want to think of it. Okay, it's the...
What's he... You mean description?
You're going to know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very easily recognizable character. I just cannot think of his name.
Let's get the big book of Star Wars out, and we'll
I'll do my impersonation of him.
The guy from... The Jar Jar Binks boss...
No.
Or Jabba the Hutt?
Jabba the Pippin Hutt.
Where's the... You know what? You're going the wrong way.
There it is. Jabba the mother Hutt.
You didn't even say it, so I didn't even... We went through all the buttons. Look, we went a whole 16 minutes and 50 seconds, or like 40 seconds without using a single soundboard.
I know. That was my fault. I'm going to cut that out.
Don't cut it out. Just leave it. Anyways, but... I don't care about Jabba the Hutt. I'd like to see a Darth Vader between episode 3 and 4.
Don't just write me off like that.
I'm writing you off on that.
Do not just write me off. Think about
Jabba the Hutt.
Think about it. Jabba the Hutt.
What would the movie be?
Okay, he's like a master gangster in freaking Tatooine.
All the Hutts are gangsters.
So it's just a family thing? It's just he's like the son of blah blah the Hutt.
They're all like crime lords. Like that's what the Hutts do. Like the Hutt syndicate. So I think there's like in the Clone Wars there's another Hutt. Like there's like a little baby Hutt. That's what it is. Like it's like his son or something, but there's another like boss Hutt that like runs another planet or something. So it's like I don't care about Jabba's backstory. Like,
okay, well not everybody knows that.
What character development is there going to be?
That.
He's just going to be like, Ogie Bobo go solo. Just like,
you're laughing, so clearly you'd like
it'd be like a comedy, not a Star Wars movie.
Why not? That would be even better. A Jabba the Hutt, the comedy movie.
Just like have like little laugh tracks in the back. That's what we need.
Like a sitcom.
Yeah, like we need sitcom
laughter
tracks for the soundboard.
We need like a sitcom like aww and like a sitcom like
yeah, that's what we need. We need the laughter one. We for sure need that.
Yeah, because clearly our jokes aren't funny enough.
Bruh. I went after that one. Anyways, so I just don't. I would like to see what Darth Vader was up to between. Oh no, you know who I would really want to see? I want to see wrong. That's another one we can add. I want to see a Palpatine.
I'm
prequel.
interested.
I think Palpatine he has got backstory, but it's never explained.
Or this new guy in the new
Kylo
trilogy.
Ren.
No.
Snoke. They're not going to give. They're not giving Snoke background.
That guy.
They had all the chances
one of the
in the
worst
world.
people. One of the worst emperors because he was there and he died right away. Like he just is boring.
They built. Here's the thing. This is what happened because the Disney trilogy. They literally went into it with no story plan. Nothing was drawn out with 3 separate directors. They basically like did the equivalent of when you have like a project in school and you just kind of like wing it. Or like you have like a research paper you're writing, and you have like your sources, and you kind of like ham fist them in there, and you call it a day. That's what Disney did with the new trilogy. Is they just kind of like oh, we got the Star Wars license, and like okay, we'll throw like some we'll throw some new characters in, we'll throw some old characters in, we'll throw in like a episode 1 or episode 4 ripoff pretty much, and then we'll just kind of like free ball it, and then we'll our fans are so dumb that they're not gonna they'll just eat it up, which is what they did for episode 7, and then episode 8 everybody was like, nah fam, like you can't just do Luke Skywalker like that, you can't Ray is not instantly this good. And then like Ryan Johnson or whatever was just like, oh, her parents are nobody. So it's like there's spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen episode 8. If you haven't, well, you're not missing anything.
You're really not missing
best part
anything at all.
But it's just frustrating because it's like, okay, y'all had this great opportunity. You could have had the lore in there. You could have had all this backstory. I mean, like that's the thing with like the original trilogy is like everything is like you can tell Lucas has the plot set up from episode 4. Looking back, like I mean,
right.
Vader means father in German or something like that. It's like obviously he's going to be, there's like, he was thinking, okay, this is what we'll do here. Obi-Wan dies. He's got the Force Ghost. Like everything ties in to an extent. And with the new one, it's just kind of like, well, like episode 8, he's just like, you know what? Let's just go in a completely different direction. We'll make it some space chase BS. We'll throw in a little like casino scene. We'll throw in a Hoth ripoff.
I hated the casino scene.
I didn't hate it.
It was pointless. I didn't care for it.
That
I didn't
whole
care
part
for the
was
little
pointless.
message about animal cruelty or whatever. I don't need to see that in my Star
like
Wars.
Rose Tico?
No, I don't need that.
You don't like Rose?
No, I don't like it. There was a forced love story between them. It didn't need to happen.
Was there? I don't even remember
between
that.
Finn and that chick.
I just don't even.
They like kissed at the end.
Did they?
Did you like leave in the middle of the movie?
I just like that whole middle part of the movie. Just like I stopped paying attention to.
Hey, I just want to make a quick announcement. We just got another follower on our.
Did we?
Shout out to this person that followed us on Instagram. So thank you.
Are you looking at Instagram when we're talking about Star Wars?
I got the announcement that somebody followed us on Instagram. So it's a lifestyle coach or something. So
wow!
Cool.
Shout out to that
Thank
lifestyle
you.
Coach.
Thank you for following us on Instagram. We don't post that much.
We need lots of help.
Well, anyway, so I think there's a story that Huggett wanted to talk about.
So pretty much the first story it's been 20 minutes. Thank you for the transition. So the first story we're going to talk about is really we're talking about how the Austin Animal Shelter is pretty much waiving fees. That made a lot of noise right there for pet adoption. So right now it's over capacity. They've got over 456 pups in their shelter.
Does it say they're puppies or like full-grown dogs?
It's like medium to large dogs is what they've got.
So here's my thing. Like I have a dog right now, but I also don't have a backyard, and I want to get a big dog. So I'm waiting till I can get a backyard to get a big dog, or just like a bigger space. So that would be perfect for me. But of course, I can't get one right now. But I think that everybody out there, if you have the ability to get one of these guys,
I don't know if I'd do it.
I guess not. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to guilt you into getting a dog.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people try to guilt you into it. Like, we adopted a dog. And, I mean,
what kind of dog do you have, Huggett?
Right now we have
it's like a Westie, right?
It's a Westie. So it's a West Highland White Terrier. It's like a little furry terrier, kind of like a Yorkie. Or just pouring up some more wine.
You know what time it is.
It's wine time.
It's a little more wine time. Yeah, give me the sexy sax. No, give me sexy sax.
Just gave yourself sexy sax.
I just poured myself another glass of wine. Okay, we're going off the rails here. So
yeah, we're going a little.
Westie.
This is the part where Jordan would just be like, would just keep us on track.
We can't do this without him.
We really can't. Jordan, help us, Jordan. You're our only hope. That's what we need.
All right. So, what were you saying? You have a Westie.
We have like a Westie. Adorable little white terrier. Looks kind of like a like a Schnauzer or like a Yorkie kind of like dog. That you're picturing that.
Yes.
It's adorable. So we have one of those.
Name Kirby the Westie. How cute is that?
He's like 12 years old. He's getting older and he's getting a little cranky and like.
Is he getting chubby?
He's getting a little chubby. I catch him getting chubby all the time.
Roscoe's getting chubby.
I hate Roscoe. That's his dog.
So I have a small little terrier dog who was supposed to be an Australian Kelpie, which is a like German Shepherd-y looking kind of dog. And he never grew, so he just is like a little tiny terrier, and he hates everybody except for me and anybody else that he like knows.
Roscoe hates me. Like every time I see him, he literally growls at me, he barks at me. I've fed him like ice
So many
cream or
treats.
food. Like I've petted him, I played with him, I try to do everything I can. And he still just like stares. Like if I make,
He's a ladies' man, so he like will warm up to ladies better than dudes.
he's a jerk. I hate that dog.
He's kind of crappy.
That's one dog like that I just could not stand.
Yeah,
Because he can't stand me. It's like, look, I will try and be friends with you. I'll extend the olive branch. Like I don't know what I ever did to hurt your feelings, but he just doesn't. He just doesn't like me. So Roscoe, shout out to you for being the worst dog ever.
Yeah, like he would live with us right now. Like me and Jordan are roommates, and like the first time that Roscoe and Jordan met, Jordan literally like walked up to him and like he just pooped himself, like like just straight up pooped himself. So I think that was our sign that like this isn't gonna work. So he lives with his mother. So
he's not gonna
it's split custody.
His mother,
His
like,
mother,
another
he
dog,
he lives with his mom, the dog.
The dog.
I just let him go out in the street and find his mom.
Found her.
He found her.
Wow,
Man.
She's got a sustainable like household
It's a really
income.
dramatic story. Like he one day was just like, Dad, I want to find my biological mom. I know that I was left up at the
so he
the animal
talks now
shelter.
too. Is that it?
So he went and researched on his own. He got a DNA test and found his biological mom.
Wow,
it's a big deal.
So he can talk now, is what you're saying. So he's like Scooby Doo.
No, he speaks normally. Scooby Doo's. He doesn't go like.
So he speaks like fluid. He speaks English, is what you're saying.
I think you're missing the point here.
That's
My dog found his
clear.
biological his mom. You're not even impressed. You're more impressed by the talking than him
It's a talking
researching
dog.
on the internet and
That's
filing a DNA
That's
test.
a pretty big deal right there. A talking dog.
How much you want to bet that like in the future there's going to be technology so that you can like talk to your dog?
It seems more like a science fiction thing than
Yeah,
anything
you're right.
else.
I don't see that happen. Because then you have to have like some sort of basis that dogs talk to each other.
Well, yeah,
and I
like,
don't think they do.
If the dog is, I mean, they talk to each other. They bark, they sniff, they communicate, but they don't talk.
But they don't like have like a language that they can like understand.
Like I don't think there's any way. I mean, like if it did, it would be like probably like there'd be like 10 things it was thinking, like hungry, scared. It would be like emotions.
But I think it's more of like a family thing. Like if a dog grows up, so like if a human doesn't grow up with a group of humans that speak English, they're not going to speak any language that you know. But like, so I feel like it might be the same with dogs. Where like if a dog just grows up with humans, he's not going to really understand anything another dog would say. But if it's like a mom and her pack of children, and they just like live out in the forest, like they're going to come up with some language where they understand each other. Maybe
dogs understand you. Like my dog, like he knows. Like okay, like if my mom says let's walk, or we're going, or we say walking, or if she says
you
go.
train your dogs like they know what you're saying.
We didn't even train him. It's just like you say go, he knows that. Like his. Can you? Oh, that's
here. Hold on. We're gonna take a quick break.
Take a commercial.
All right, we're back.
All right, so that was just the camera that cuts off every 29 minutes.
I have a stupid like camera. For some reason, like it records video in 29-minute segments, so I had to like go up and turn it back on so we can post this on YouTube for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, you were talking about how like your dog like responds to like walk and stuff.
If she says go, like he perks up. He knows, okay, get by where we keep the leashes and get ready.
No, yeah, my dog's the same. So my dog's best friend is Reba, the dog Reba. And so whenever we say, "Hey, you want to go see Reba?" he literally perks up and goes nuts. Like he knows where we're going. He knows who we're gonna see. We're gonna go see his best friend Reba. So it's a thing. Like dogs can understand what you're saying. I don't know if they can
talk though. That's the thing.
Where all my dog people at? I'm just saying dogs over cats all day.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
But you know what? I understand the love for cats. I also like cats as well.
Cats hate me.
Cats are different because you have to like I just watched Meet the Parents, and like Robert De Niro says this in the movie. Cats, like, you have to like earn their respect.
Yeah, they don't just give it.
Dogs will give it to like pretty much anybody unless you're my dog. But a cat, you have to like earn their love and respect, and like that's they have a character about them. I think it's hilarious that cats like act like they run shit, like they're in charge, whereas like a dog is just kind of like, yeah, come on in, like let's have a good old time here,
yeah,
like, take whatever you want. The happy-go-lucky dogs, but then there's like some like dogs that are a little more protective. But,
yeah. But yeah, I just think.
But anyway, go get some dogs.
I just think if they made like a communication like thing that like could read a dog's mind or whatever. Like either it wouldn't work, it would only be like 10 things, or it would just be like BS, and like even if it did, it would just be like it would just spit out like nonsense pretty much. It would be like a gimmick that doesn't work.
Well, because any sort of like technology that would like translate a dog's thoughts into words, like dogs probably don't even think the same way we do.
They don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't think the same.
So it would literally be nonsense.
It's like when you it's like I always used to think like, okay, even though like let's say like another like someone who speaks another language, like even though they speak that language, they still think in English. No, they think in like Spanish.
No, that was one thing that that my dad told me. So my mom is from Mexico and my dad is American, from Houston, Texas. No, he's from Austin, Texas. He was born in Houston, Texas.
He's 100% Austin.
He's 100% Austin as well.
He was born in Austin.
He was born in Houston, but then right away moved to Austin.
So he's not 100% Austin.
Okay, he's 99% Austin, he's just like me. I am 99% Austin.
Oh, you shouldn't have admitted that. You should have kept that quiet. Now,
all right, I'm 100%. I am 99.9999% Austin. I literally lived. I was born in Mexico, and I lived there for 3 months, and I moved to Austin.
So that's like
what percentage of my life is that?
That's like 90.
No. Let's do the math.
Let's do the math. All right.
So the math would be. Let's see. I've been in Austin for. But then I got to go by months. Okay, so 12 times 24 times April, May, June, July, August. So times. Okay, I actually don't mind this background music. So I just did 12 times 24 plus 5. So that's 293 months. So I've been in Austin for 293 months. Divided by, okay, so let me write this down. 293. Tune in, guys. We're figuring out what percentage of Austin I am. 293. So then, let's say I was here for, or no. That's the total percentage of my life. So now let's do. Okay, so this is it. 290 divided by 293. I am 98.976% Austin. Is that not good enough? Can we not just round that up?
Wait, so how much was the percent? I'm sorry, I was too busy pressing buttons.
I am 98.97% Austin.
So you're 99% Austin. If we round up,
I'm literally 99% Austin.
So we have to change the name because I mean, me and Jordan are both 100% Austin.
So let's aggregate this. So this plus 100, or sorry, plus 1 plus 1 divided by 3. We are technically 0.9965. So we're 99.65% Austin. And that's the end of this podcast.
All right, it's been a good run, guys.
We're going to have to rename this and come back with new branding. We are now 99.6% Austin.
It's all right, 99.6% Austin.
I am sorry to have tainted this experience
for you.
You
really did you should have. We should have saved that till we actually had like.
Hey, I guess can I get a shout out for like all the math I just did?
Actually, hold on, no. There you go. There's your shout out.
Again, I have not touched any of these sound effects.
You definitely have earlier.
Anyway, so back to my story.
I'm just trying to keep your dry math sermon interesting.
All right. Anyway, so my dad is an Austinite. And he married my mom, and he learned how to speak Spanish and then lived in Mexico with her for many, many years. And he told me that after a while, he started dreaming in Spanish. And that's when you know that you are becoming bilingual.
That's crazy.
Once you learn another language and you're just like living in it, I feel like that's when you start. Because like think about this, like if you speak 2 different languages and like I dream about my cousin Carlitos from Mexico, I didn't make that up. I actually have a cousin named Carlitos.
Is he going to listen to the podcast?
He goes by Carlos now. No, I don't think he will. But
can we get him to we got to expand the brand, multinational.
Si estás escuchando, estoy hablando de ti.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so if I dream about my cousin Carlos from Mexico, I'm not going to dream of him talking in English. I'm gonna dream about him talking in Spanish because that's what only makes sense in my head. So I guess that's where that comes from.
Have you ever dreamed in Spanish? Because I know you can speak some Spanish. Speak into Spanish.
Not that I remember.
Hey.
Not that I remember. But You know what I heard? It's kind of interesting is that what the people in like your dreams, your mind isn't smart enough to come up with faces. So every face that you see in your dream is somebody that you've seen like some time in your life. So like if there's some random person that's in your dream that's like trying to murder you, and you're like, I don't like who was it? You're like, I don't know. It's definitely somebody that you've seen in your life because your brain can't just come up with a face. Like it's somebody you've seen.
So it's someone. Now, what if you see people that like you know, but you haven't seen in a long time? Is there anything like I've never looked into dream psychology.
No. I think it's anybody. Like I could have seen somebody like back in 2005 that like my brain somehow really registered, and like they may just pop up in a dream because my brain registered them as somebody.
They just pop up. It's like
because like think about it. Like is your brain smart enough to like subconsciously create a face? Like
no.
You have to like base it on somebody.
That's interesting. I'd never looked into dream psychology, but I've always wanted to.
Cause one time I wanted to like learn how to lucid dream, which is basically where you can like be conscious during your dreams and like control your dreams. It's a thing. Like you can train yourself to become a lucid dreamer.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah. So this is what I read, and it was basically, and I did it for like a month. So they say what you do is while you're awake in your life, just like pinch yourself and say, am I dreaming? Like just constantly.
That's it?
No, just think about it. So like I like would do it as a habit. Like I wouldn't actually pinch myself, but I would just I would think to myself, am I in a dream right now? Am I in a dream? I probably did it like maybe 4 years ago. I don't remember. Like it was a while back. And so I would just like constantly like question myself if I was dreaming throughout the day, but till the point that it became kind of like almost a habit. And then what I would do is when I would go to sleep, I would still, like, right before I go to sleep, I would say, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? And then I would fall asleep. And then what happens is once you're in your dream, you subconsciously ask those questions because it's habit. So you, like, go, am I dreaming? And then you'll realize you're dreaming, and then you can, like, control your dreams.
Have you ever controlled a dream?
I did, like, maybe 2 or 3 times.
But I'm going to start doing that.
Like, one trick for me that I've noticed for, like, dream cycles is, like, to be like in really deep sleep and then wake yourself up and then go back, and that's how you'll remember your dreams, because like you'll be right in the middle of your dream cycle. Because like if you wake up after sleeping in, like at that point you're not in like deep sleep, like you're like,
but how do you
kind
of getting out
of it
when you're in a dream? That's what I'm asking.
Oh no, I'm saying like literally wake yourself up from your sleep, like put an alarm on at like
time the cycle
in the middle of the night, and that way like you wake up in the middle of your deep sleep cycle. And then you'll go right back to sleep into it. Like, I remember I used to have, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night from a dream and be like, I want to go back into that dream, and I would fall asleep again. And I would, right. So, like, it's that's how you kind of do it. Like, and that comes from just waking up from being, like, in your, like, deepest level of sleep. So, just my little tip of the day.
I've definitely done that. There's been times where, like I was, like, trying to get out of a dream, and I couldn't. And I was, like, in a weird, like, in-between spot.
I hate that.
Like, I was, like, I couldn't, like, I literally woke up and I couldn't move my body. But, like, I knew I was awake, but it was, like my mind hadn't, like, connected everything.
Right,
Like, it was, like, my body was, like, booting up. It's, like, I didn't expect to come out of this dream at that time. Yeah. So, it just didn't know what to do. And I was, like, freaking out.
Like, what are some of your worst nightmares? Because for me, it's, like, my nightmares are, like, I'll have, like, a random nightmare where, like, it's, like, from a scary movie or something. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, I don't like scary movies, so I don't watch them, like, ever. So, like, I don't have nightmares like most people where it's, like, the boogeyman's coming after me or, like, I'm getting, like, killed by a serial killer. Like, I don't have dreams like that. I don't have dreams like that. Because my mind just doesn't come up with that on its own. So, like, my nightmares are literally, like, I got fired from my job. Like, I remember, like, I had just gotten hired by, like, the company I got hired by. And, like, I would have, like, nightmares that I got fired right away. Like, those are my nightmares. Or, like, I get a nightmare where, like, I say something wrong to somebody and, like, it ruins a relationship. I don't know, just, like, real life things that I, like, dream about. For me and it's worse because, like, if I wake up... It could actually happen. Right, because I'll wake up from things, like, that are obviously not real. And I'm like, okay, that's not real. Like, I'll wake up and be like, oh, yeah, thank God it's not real. But then there's, like, things, like... that happen like in real life, and I'll wake up and sometimes I feel like it still happened because it's so realistic. Like it makes sense. Like I'll have like a logistical reason why I was fired for this reason, for this, and it usually makes sense and it's good. And then like of course on top of that, I used to be a server, so like any server knows you have server dreams. Like and it might be in retail too. But like I'll have dreams like after serving where like I'll go to sleep and I'll be like having nightmares where I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to get this person a pink lemonade, or oh my gosh, I never ever like brought this person's food out. Like it's stuff like that like you like think like, oh, I forgot to do this, and it like
you wake up
because there's so much pressure like in your job, like that, like those things like really matter, and that's like a nightmare.
And then you wake up and it's like, shoot, did I do that? Like, is it a dream? And then you go to work and it's like, does anybody remember that? Like, did this actually happen?
It's probably worse for retail because those things are in continuation. Like for us, it's like you have your tables and then like you're done serving your table and then that's it. Like you don't really need to worry about them that much. But like for you, like in retail, like I feel like it's like there's more continuation in it.
Yeah, they come back.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think that's happened. I can't recall any specific instances where like I had a retail dream. Like I know it's happened, but like nothing remarkable where it was like where I remember it. I just remember as a kid when I was like I remember like I had a dream or I guess a nightmare where like I was like in the place, like I was like I think it was either in like the place where I had my 4th year birthday party. And like this giant like T-Rex, green T-Rex came like breaking through the wall or something.
But that's intense.
What?
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's that, I think that there's other ones too, but I don't really remember them. But usually like most of my good dreams, I would say, you know, it either involves like seeing someone I haven't seen in a long time, usually a woman, or like it involves me getting something that I really want. So like used to be like Pokemon cards. Now it's like I had a dream where I was like dumpster diving and I found like all the Texas Longhorn shoes that I was like have been hunting for.
Wow, yeah.
So that was a really good dream. And then I woke up and I was just like, and then like I always wake up and like this is just all of them and it's just like, all right, was that a dream or did I actually get it? And then you know like 10 seconds later it was like, nope, that was a dream.
That's the funny thing is like when you grow up and like your dreams change because like when you're a little kid like you dream about stupid stuff and like oh like this was a great dream because I did whatever.
Pokemon cards aren't stupid.
I'm not saying Pokemon cards.
There's big money to be made in Pokemon cards.
Okay, well you know
Pokemon
let me know.
To the polls.
That's why I'm still nice to you, Daniel, because if you ever like make a ton of money off Pokemon cards, I still want to be your friend.
I will not make any money on Pokemon cards because Pokemon cards like to make money you have to like you either have to have sealed product or you have to have like immaculate condition, like sent into like the graders to grade and like in the plastic.
I know, but like, don't you just regret like all the Pokemon cards that you probably used to have that you get rid of them because you're like,
I still
whatever.
have them all.
I gave them away.
You gave them away? You can give them to me?
You know what else I had that I feel like is worth a lot of money? I used to like have like as a little child.
Pokemon cards aren't worth any money, by the way.
No. I'm giving another example. I used to collect. Not I used to collect. I was a kid and I had the Star Wars action figures. And I know those are worth a lot now.
Yeah.
But like they have to be like in package, mint condition, and I never would have done that.
Yeah.
Like I was a kid, I took them out and played with my cousin's Barbies. Like, you know, you had to play with them.
Yeah, you had to play with them. No, that's exactly it. Like the thing is like I feel like a lot of people like our age, like growing up, was like, oh, we can save these and they'll be worth something someday. But every kid was thinking that to some extent. And unless like the item is in perfect, immaculate, like basically
brand new, like in the package almost.
Yeah, unless it's like new, collector doesn't care. Because the collector wants like the best of best. Now, like 100 years from now, collector might, you know, the population is going to decrease. The collector might care a little bit more about like a worn item or like a used item.
It's just crazy that something as simple as like a piece of paper, like if stored properly, it's like almost worth like the amount of like a car or something to somebody. Yeah.
I mean, like
it's just wild. Hey, hold on, I heard a beep. I want to check the camera.
Okay.
And we're back.
All right.
Sorry, there was nothing wrong with the camera. I just had to go check. But anyway, I was saying something before. That would have worked for the Star Wars portion. I don't know why we didn't use that.
Why didn't we use that?
That is literally Darth Vader. I could have used that for like...
literally Darth Vader.
That is literally Darth Vader. I don't remember what I was saying. I think it was something about something, but anyway.
Something about something. Hey, I was saying something about something the other day, too.
No, I was talking about how kids dream differently.
No, you're not listening to me. Something about something. What was that again? Oh, yeah, it was something about something.
I'm letting you go off on this because...
I actually knowed myself right there, so...
You mean...
Actually...
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's the new one.
That's one of the new ones, and I think it suits perfectly for this. Do not... Stop pushing... Stop. Stop.
That was it.
Stop.
That was the perfect one right there.
All right, I hope you're happy. You got that out of the way.
We need like a fourth person to just manage the soundboard.
I hope you're happy. I hope that's out of the way. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, kids dream weird things, and then when you get older, like my good dreams would be like getting a job or like getting a good salary. I'm like, just, you know, it gets boring.
Making money.
Don't grow up, I guess.
No, grow up. You don't want to be a kid forever.
Yeah, I did.
I'm
glad I'm grown up.
I am too. I'm not really grown up.
So I was going to talk to you about.
Are we done with? I guess we literally talked about the animal
dog
shelter for like a minute, and then we just talked about dogs. But yeah, I mean, if you need a dog, definitely hit them up. I mean, no adoption fees. I'm assuming that means they're free. Like
I don't know. Just go check out Austin Animal Center and see what you can get.
That was good. That was a good transition. That was a good use of the soundboard.
Yeah, but you didn't transition, so I'm gonna have to hit it again.
Oh, let me hit it. All right. Anyways, but yeah. So go ahead and get them.
See, but now you're supposed to like say what we're talking about next. Okay. Okay.
Look, we were really good the first 8 minutes, all right?
All right, let's just transition to our next topic.
It's time for Tech Talk with Dennis.
Yeah. You know what time it is.
Hopefully we don't get like a copyright strike for playing Crab Borg.
Shout out to SpongeBob. If you know what that song's from, please write it down in the comments. Tell us what the name of that song is.
Or please just comment.
Because it could be beep, boop, bop, bop, beep, beep, boop. That's a little. That's just a hint. Shh, that's
please,
a hint.
Just comment in general. Like that's all we need.
So we're starting a new segment called Tech Talk with Dennis.
We did this last week.
Because last week it was like a joke because I just typically like to talk about tech because I am in the tech career. And so there's definitely some interesting things that you can read about and we can talk about that interests everybody. So I read this.
It'll interest me.
This will interest you.
Actually, this does interest me. I know.
So I read TechCrunch.com a lot, and I recommend anybody that is interested in tech stuff. It doesn't do like really into tech stuff, but like there's like different things that you can look into, and so I would check it out. So this article I read was called "Grabbit Wants to Turn Your Car's Windows into a Trippy Video Billboard." So basically, there's this company called Grabbit that wants to
Bop It.
Yeah, but it's Grabbit.
Grabbit.
I mean, I don't know what the sound for Grabbit would be.
That could be the sound.
Anyway, so Grabbit turns a car's side rear window into a full-color display playing location-aware ads to anyone who might be standing along curbside. They're currently aiming to work with rideshare delivery drivers, enabling them to make a bit of extra coin while doing their driving. So kind of an interesting idea. There's a little video here I'll show you, Daniel. Basically, like there's like almost like a projection of like a video. It looks like just like a TV
on the side
of your car
on the window.
On the window, and that way advertisers can sell drivers to sell stuff like that.
Basically, companies are saying, "Hey, we don't think you have enough ads in your life already. So here's some more ads just to see how many ads we can add to your ad-filled life of ads."
So basically, we
were watching YouTube earlier today looking for videos, and they played 2 ads, not just one.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Because
YouTube is doing 2 ads now in one video. That's crazy.
They really just want you to sign up for YouTube Red. There's like, oh, free trial. Oh, we blocked the ability for you to listen to music when your phone is closed. So here you go. Download our subscription. And it's like, I'm still not downloading that YouTube. Even if you add 2 ads at the beginning of, I guess we should have specified the beginning of a video, because sometimes like you'll get like, if it's a long video, you'll get like 5 ads.
Well, it's funny because they used to like advertise like their little like YouTube original shows and movies and stuff. None of them looked good.
Do they even do that anymore?
Yeah. The most recent one I remember seeing was like The Karate Kid, another classic movie that I'm sure Daniel never saw.
I didn't see that movie either.
So they were doing like a Karate Kid post movie where they like talked about like Daniel DeRusso or LaRusso or whatever his name was.
People would always tell me Daniel-san, and I would never know what
exactly.
What they were referencing.
That is why you need to watch these movies.
I'm not watching this movie.
But anyway, so this basically they like mount a projectable material, or they mount a small projector on one side and then a projectable material on the window, and it literally is just a projected image.
So it's just on one side?
It's just on one side.
So it's not like a screen on the car, it's just a projector.
It's a projected video onto the side of your window, which is actually cool. But the question is, would that work on you? If you saw an advertisement on some random person's car, would that make you want to buy their thing?
Well, so...
Honestly, the question is, does advertising work in general?
That's the thing with advertising is I mean, it does work, but not traditional methods don't work. Like billboards, stuff like that. Like especially with like millennials, Gen Zers, all that stuff, it doesn't work as well because we're just immune to it. We're so used to it. Like we like marketing and we respect it, but we want to be marketed to in better ways. Like for me, like we'll say, the company says, hey, buy my product, it's great. I'm going to be like, okay, well, that doesn't help me. But if a company says, okay, like, here's, like, this piece of content, really well written, here's this product we're offering, and, like, seek it in, like, it's like, put it in, like, you know, content marketing. It's like, oh, okay, cool, this looks like it could help me out. I'm probably still not going to buy the item because I just don't really buy a lot of stuff like that. But that I'm going to be more inclined to at least, if I'm looking up an article to help me do something, I probably have at least a need for the product they're offering if it's implemented well, and there's a better chance that I would do it. And I'm sure there's lots of people who they do convert on that. But just like the days of this, you know, people just putting a commercial out there and saying, hey, you know, buy Cheetos or whatever, it's not going to work unless it's like a really funny, memorable commercial. But even then...
But even though like funny commercials don't make me want to buy their products, it's more just like funny.
It's just a conversation piece, exactly. So I think...
It's tough, but like, you know, and back in the day, they would have like infomercial channels where like they would just go through a bunch of different like advertisements and like of different random products. And like there would be like it was a thing for people to be like, man, I'm obsessed with just like buying things like off TV, like, and it was harder back then. Like back then, you had to call in and like say, did that. I never did it, but I'm just saying like previous versions of advertising, that's what that was. Like you would have to like call in and like order your products. Nowadays, it's so easy to just get like an advertisement will pop up and be like, yeah, that sounds cool, I'll take that. But the thing is like, I think we've grown to be like aware of like advertisements and be like,
there's no magic to it.
There's no magic to it. Like I'm not interested. Like and it's even worse now because like I'll look up one thing one time and every advertisement on every other website I go to is about that.
Yep.
And I know they're watching what I look at, and that's how they do that. Yep. But half the time, like, it never interests me.
It doesn't.
And it's funny because I'm spiteful toward advertisement, too, because, like, if you, like, Google something, like, the first couple ones will maybe be the site you're looking for, but it says promoted. Ad next to it. So, like, I wonon't click those.
Yeah,
I'll click the ones underneath it.
I don't know, does anybody, I guess it's another question for viewers out there, does anybody actually, like, does retargeting on something, does it work for you? And two, you know, the ads on Google, do you click those? You skip them? What do you do? Like that's a good question. I think and it'd be interesting to see if anybody responds.
On YouTube,
but two,
like YouTube ads, like the only ones I'll look at are like movie trailers. Like sometimes I'll watch them.
Sometimes I look if the. Like I've definitely watched some of the Lego commercials before on there, and like if like the thing can grip me.
I've never seen a Lego commercial.
They're pretty creative. Like they're like, oh, here's this set, but we're gonna take it apart and build something else, or we're gonna show you what you can do with it. It's really creative, and I think
you know
they
what
do a good job.
Never worked. The ones where there's like a person, they're like, don't click the skip button. Don't click the skip button. That. I'm like, no, like that's not creative at all.
The worst one is like your copy paste internet marketer, just like stop what you're doing. You could be making this much money doing this. You just have to like just click the link, and then the link will take you to like a page where it'll have like a little bit of some tips.
Yeah,
and they're like, if these tips are valuable to you, then buy my course or my book or whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
I
want to know if there's anybody out there, and if there is, please email us at.
Email.
I like for a full like email. I want to somebody email us at 100%austin@gmail.com. I want to know, is there anybody out there that has actually done one of these courses that are like, you can make millions today doing this, like Ty Lopez, like any of those people.
Ty Lopez.
Remember Ty Lopez?
The guy who had the car
Lamborghini. Yeah. I want to know if anybody has actually like purchased one of those courses or read one of those books and has actually like
gotten something out of it.
Like, please, I
even
just want to know.
any level of success. Like, just
I've never even gave that stuff a chance because all of that to me is just BS. So, like, please tell me if you've actually, like, attained success from that. I feel like all of it is just a lot of, like, really, like, cliche advice. Like,
work hard and
do this.
Own your zone.
And then invest in my company and you'll be successful. Like, I feel like it's stuff like that.
Yeah, follow this course. Like, it's like grind. It's like, or no, there's a phrase they all use. Like, they use crush it. That's what it is. They all
crush
say
it.
They all say like do this to crush it.
So bad.
And it's just like, goodness gracious. Like, what are you like? No one's original, and that's internet marketing. That's what it is.
You know, it's funny. Like, my mom, like,
does she tell you
from
Mexico, to crush it?
No. But being from Mexico, like, she doesn't like. She tries to pick up on these phrases like from America that she thinks are like really good. And during like my UT graduation speech, like the guy said, his theme was floor it, like a car, like floor it. Jeez. Like he's like, go out into your life and floor it. And she thought that was the best thing ever, and now she says it all the time. And she's just like, I'll be like doing something. She's like, Denny, floor it, Denny.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hannah.
She she means good. She means good, but
I'm sorry.
No.
I like your mom though. She's
no, I'm not.
What?
Do you think I said I don't like her?
I
love you, Mom.
I just don't.
No, but Flora and that's not her fault. Like, she just heard it and thought it sounded good.
Was it the graduation speaker said it?
The graduation speaker said it, yeah. That's where she learned that phrase, and now she says
how old was the graduation speaker?
He was in his, like, 40s, 50s. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with you being in your 50s. Just don't say floor it. Just don't say it.
That term, to me, is specifically for driving. Leave it to that.
Floor it, yeah, I'd agree with that.
But even then, like, no one really says floor it.
I don't think
it's better than pedal to the metal.
But the pedal, I definitely said pedal to the metal before.
Yeah, but most people's pedals aren't metal. Oh, I heard a beep. I don't have to pause it. I'm just gonna keep
whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's just there's just so, especially in business, there's just so many cliches. Like, they say, I feel like it's just people repeating the same stuff. Like, people saying, "Oh, work hard," or follow your passion, or leadership. Anything that says, anybody who says just, "Oh, you need to be a better leader." It's just like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like the people who actually are like really good leaders don't spend a lot of time dwelling on leadership. They just kind of like lead.
And I know like a bunch of comedians have probably already, like, I actually know comedians that use this in their sketches, but like, when has anybody ever looked at like a poster? Those posters with the super cliche,
the motivational like posters,
hang in there, and it's like a
posters.
Monkey like hanging on a branch, or like it'd be like teamwork, and it's a bunch of like birds on like a tree limb, like people would hang those up, and I'm wondering like who just looks at those and is like legit inspired by that.
I bet probably it's one
like
of those things.
Patience, and it's like a whale. Like,
I bet it's for people who are like. It's not like people who are like doing like you have like moods, like you'll feel pretty medium like most of the time. There'll be times when you're feeling great, and there's times when you're feeling like really bad. You just hate everything. Like, and anybody who talks to you is going to be bad, and you're like really, at least for me, like whenever I'm in that moment, I'm like really introspective, and
right.
Sometimes like stuff, not like posts like that, but stuff will just like really speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's for people who are like feeling really bad, like really crummy, like thinking about like quitting or like leaving, and then like there's like a small chance of just seeing that poster, it'll like. I mean, they probably see it every day, but they see it that one time, and it sticks with them.
But what does the picture do for it?
I don't know. It's
literally
flavor.
like it's like Times New Roman text. It says patience and has like a picture of a lion.
Is there a company that makes those?
What company? Like, anybody can do this. Go to Microsoft Word, just post a picture of like look up like random scenery or like animals, and then just put some sort of basic word like one of the fruit of the spirits, and just put like. Hopeful.
Hopeful.
Just put a picture of a dog, like, and put hopeful under it.
Yeah, the dog is the dog.
Like, whatever company came out with this stuff is like laughing at anybody that makes fun of it, because they're probably rolling in the money. But like, I just don't get it.
Is there anything on Wikipedia about this? There's not one company that makes them. A bunch of people do. So.
Oh, why not? How do you even patent that?
We need to get a poster and put it up right here.
Oh, dang it. I just got a notification that Zach Martin from the Cowboys, one of our probably the best offensive lineman on the Cowboys just got hurt.
Of course.
Versus the Bengals.
Welcome to preseason. Are they playing right now?
It sounds like it, yeah.
I kind of want to watch that game.
Let me see what quarter it's in.
See what quarter it's in.
But apparently he just walked out with an injury, so
Cowboys aren't looking too hot.
Hey, shout out to Connor Williams. He is a UT alum, and he got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, there you go. That's all we need. We've seen a little bit of it. But yeah, I think that we are almost at an hour. So I think this is a pretty good place to stop. I think this went pretty good considering we were down a man this week.
I mean, we could keep going too if you want.
You want to keep going?
Why not?
I think we're good. I think an hour.
We can chop it up, post it up in a bunch of little segments.
I think we've got good stuff for next week. We can continue to talk about. I think it's good to call it here. Quit while we're ahead. I think this is a pretty successful podcast. But anyways, last thought on that whatever the heck we were talking about. Grab it. Would you do it? Would you do it for your car?
Why not?
I would agree with that. I would do it too.
To me, why not? Because
it's free money.
It's you're getting paid to do it, and it doesn't really affect you. It's not like back in the day. It would be different because you'd have to get like some sort of decal put on your car to like advertise something. That affects your daily driving. But if it's just like a projector, like if I go on a date, I can just turn it off and not use it.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing too that was interesting is like it seems like they're really focusing on like local. Like businesses, so like if you,
but it's geographical. So like if you're in a certain area, they're gonna like advertise certain products that are more What's the word I'm thinking?
Yeah, like if I was downtown, I'd see more advertisements for like maybe like Franklin's Barbecue or like UT or something like that. Or if I was in like
if you're like way outside in the country, you're gonna see like advertisements for like.
Probably won't
cowboy boots. I mean, you're not going to see anybody doing that, but
that's really general right there.
Well, just to give it a little more.
If you're in the country, you're going to see cowboy boots because that's all you see here in Texas is cowboy boots.
Well, I mean, that's advertisement.
Cowboy boots. Get your boots right here. But
anyway, all right. Well, I think that was a successful podcast.
Yeah, it was pretty good. If you listened this far, shout out to you.
If you missed Jordan on the podcast, let him know.
Please, just let us know anything.
Anyway, all right. Well, we will talk to you next week. See you later, guys.
See you guys. Have a good week.
It was nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you too.
I wasn't talking to you.
We weren't talking to them though.
I was talking. Oh, yeah. I guess I was talking to you.